What if we all just flew? Imagine a world with no roads, no cars, no trains, no boats. Instead, everyone has a small, personal flying machine. Your garage is now a hangar, your driveway is a launch pad. You fly to get groceries, you fly to visit your friends, your kids fly to school, their little sky scooters zipping between buildings like metallic dragonflies. This isn't a distant future with flying cars alongside regular ones. This is a world where flight is the only way to get around. What would that world look like? How would it work? And more importantly, what would break? Let's set some ground rules for our thought experiment. Everyone has access to some form of personal air vehicle, or PAV. The alarm goes off at 7 a.m. It's a Monday. Time for work. You don't grab car keys. You grab your flight helmet. You walk to your launch pad, which is either a reinforced balcony or a small platform in your yard. Your personal flyer, a sleek two-seater pod, whirs to life. You run through a pre-flight check. Weather sensors clear. Battery 98%. Connection to the sky grid strong. You get in, seal the canopy, and engage the vertical lift. For a moment you just go straight up, rising above your own rooftop. You ascend to your designated altitude, maybe 500 feet, and merge into the slow lane. The sky is full. It is a river of machines. Below you are the local flyers, the parents taking their kids to the neighborhood sky school. Above you, in the express lanes at 2,000 feet, are the long-distance commuters. Digital signs, projected holographically into the air, direct the flow of traffic. In a world where everyone flies, cities would look completely different. Ground-level real estate would lose its importance. Why would you need a front door on the first floor? The most valuable real estate would be on the top floors. Penthouses would become standard entrances. Buildings would be designed like trees, with docking branches sticking out at various levels. Skyscrapers would be connected by enclosed sky bridges, allowing people to move between buildings without ever needing to get into their pods. The whole concept of a street would vanish. The ground level might be left to become a park. Neighborhoods would form in the sky, with people living at the same altitude becoming their own communities. Society would not just be divided by wealth, but by how many feet above the ground you lived and traveled. Imagine you have a medical emergency. You call 911. You don't hear a siren approaching on the street. Instead, you hear a distinctive high-pitched whine from above. An ambulance drone, a specially designed medical pod, is descending rapidly towards your location. It has priority access to all sky lanes, and all other traffic is automatically rerouted by the central system to clear a path. The pod is fast and direct. It can bypass all the traffic that would have slowed down a ground ambulance. It lands on your designated emergency pad, a spot every home is required to have, and paramedics rush out. But there are serious problems. What happens if the system fails? A power outage or a major software glitch in the air traffic control network could be catastrophic. If all the ambulance drones are grounded, there is no backup. There are no roads for a regular ambulance to use. Hacking would also be a terrifying threat. If every car, truck, and train were replaced by an electric flying pod, what would happen to the planet? At first, it sounds like a win. We would eliminate the immense carbon emissions from billions of gasoline and diesel engines. The air in our cities would be free of smog, soot, and nitrogen oxides. We could tear up the millions of miles of asphalt that scar the landscape. Roads, highways, and parking lots could be reclaimed by nature. Forests could regrow where interstates once stood. This vision is a green paradise, a world where humanity's footprint on the ground is dramatically reduced. However, this picture ignores the new footprint we are creating in the sky. The first major issue is noise. Imagine millions of whirring, buzzing pods flying over your head all day and all night. This constant noise pollution would have a devastating effect on wildlife. Where does the electricity for all these pods come from? If it's generated by burning fossil fuels, then we haven't solved the emissions problem. We've just moved it from the tailpipe to the power plant. A world built on flight would spark an explosion of new technologies and industries. The personal air vehicle market would be the biggest industry on Earth. We would see specialized vehicles for every purpose. Heavy-lift cargo drones for construction, agile camera pods for news reporting, and even recreational sky yachts for the super-rich. An entire economy would be built around personal air vehicle maintenance, battery swapping stations, software updates, and custom modifications. But with great innovation comes great and often strange problems. What about privacy? What about aerial advertising? Would the night sky be filled with giant holographic Coca-Cola ads? And then, there are the smaller, mundane problems that would become major annoyances. What happens when you drop your keys? And what about crime? Aerial pirates could disable pods and rob them mid-air. thieves could use silent drones to snatch items from open balconies. So, we have imagined a world where humanity has taken to the skies. It is a world of breathtaking views and incredible convenience. From a certain angle, it looks like a utopia, a clean, fast, and efficient future where we have finally slipped the surly bonds of earthbound traffic. But as we have seen, this utopia has a dark side. The sky is not an infinite resource. It would be choked with traffic, noise, and light. The entire system would be dangerously dependent on a fragile technological infrastructure, where a single software bug or power failure could bring the world to a standstill. Society could become stratified by altitude, creating new and literal forms of social hierarchy. Ultimately, a world of only flight trades one set of complex problems for another. We would solve traffic jams on the ground only to create them in the air. We would reduce our carbon footprint from cars only to create a massive new demand for electricity and rare minerals for batteries. The thought experiment shows us that there are no simple solutions. For now, the sky remains the domain of birds, clouds, and the occasional airplane. Maybe the real future lies not in abandoning the ground but in finding better, smarter, and more sustainable ways to live on it. And maybe, just maybe, that is for the best.